In the vast silence of the cosmos, within a small spiral arm of the Milky Way, a single star gives birth to a family of planets. Among them, one planet finds itself at just the right distance. Not too close, not too far. A delicate balance of gravity, atmosphere, water, and energy. This planet we call Earth becomes a rare meeting of conditions, a place where life is not created once, but continuously allowed to arise. The world we live in is a mixture of life and nature's endless events, a world full of movement, color, sound, and emotion. Every moment, somewhere, someone is waking up to possibility. Elsewhere, someone is rushing through the rhythm of another busy day. Human life accelerates with each technological revolution, from the internet to smartphones to the age of artificial intelligence. The world reshapes itself around our growing necessities and desires. But as our desires evolve at a rapid pace, nature often pays the price for this speed. Like a pendulum, life swings between progress and imbalance, hope and conflict, creation and destruction. In this race for limited resources, people begin to fight for what the world can offer. Nations compete, societies polarize, individuals feel the pressure in their daily lives, and yet beneath all this movement, a deeper question quietly emerges. What is the true nature of this world? What is the mind that experiences it? And what happens when we look deeply through both ancient wisdom and modern science? This is the journey we begin today, the journey into the quantum mind stream. In the early years of the 20th century, a quiet revolution began, one that would forever change how we understand the universe. Until then, the world appeared stable, solid, and predictable. The sun rose and set. Planets moved in precise orbits. Matter behaved like tiny billiard balls following clear laws. This classical view of reality shaped everything, from engineering and biology to chemistry, gravity, and everyday life. But quantum physics revealed something deeply unsettling. The solid world we experience is only a thin surface, a fraction of what truly exists. Everyday objects, water, air, stones, living beings, appear stable to our senses. But at the deepest level, they are not solid at all. They are patterns of energy, probabilities, events without fixed essence. Early models imagined atoms like miniature solar systems, electrons orbiting nuclei like planets around the sun. But experiments, most famously the double-slit experiment, revealed something astonishing. Electrons do not behave like solid particles. They behave like waves, spread out, uncertain, until interaction occurs. And even today, no one has ever seen an electron, only its effects. Einstein himself was troubled by this uncertainty. He famously asked, "Do you really believe the moon is not there when no one is looking?" And yet, every experiment continues to confirm the same truth. Then there is quantum entanglement. Modern experiments suggest that quantum entanglement arises when two particles interact and become linked in a shared state. Before this interaction, each particle behaves independently. After it, their outcomes become perfectly correlated. This does not mean the particles merge into one. They remain distinct. Yet their behavior is synchronized so precisely that they can no longer be compared independently. Like two dancers practicing in separate rooms, moving freely, unaware of each other, until they step onto the same stage and perform a single, perfectly synchronized dance. No signal travels between them, no message is sent, and yet the connection remains. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Today it powers lasers, MRI scanners, and quantum computers. As physics progressed, scientists realized something even deeper. The universe is not made of things, but of fields, a vast ocean of quantum fields, where particles are only ripples, momentary excitations arising and vanishing. And this raises a profound question. If reality has no fixed objects, no solid entities, only processes and events, why does our experience feel so solid, so divided, so personal? Why do we see objects, hear sounds, feel separate from the world? Why can't we see the universe as it truly is? A reality with no fixed entities, only events and processes unfolding. And then comes a deeper question. If we were able to see this underlying reality directly, would we still experience the world as we do now? In the quantum world, there is no color, no sound, no taste, no smell, no touch. So what then is the point of life, of experience, of being here at all? To answer this, we must look not only to physics, but to a wisdom discovered over 2,500 years ago. When we seek deeper answers, ancient wisdom points us to the Buddha's proclamation of the reality of the world. After his enlightenment, the Buddha declared that the wisdom he had realized was unlike anything known before, not because of superiority as a being, but because this understanding of reality had never been fully discovered or taught in the world. Through his own effort, without guidance from any teacher, he awakened as a Samma Sambuddha, one who fully understood the nature of existence. The Buddha revealed this understanding through the Four Noble Truths: Dukkha Satya, Dukkha Samudaya Satya, Dukkha Nirodha Satya, Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipada Satya. These truths are not beliefs or philosophies. They are direct observations of how life and experience actually function. The Buddha expressed the origin of all existence, life, experience, and consciousness itself, through one profound word: dukkha, the first noble truth. Dukkha reflects a sense of deficiency, du, and the continuous attempt to build sufficiency, kha, to resolve that lack. Sufficiency in this sense is the assembling of conditions or body to compensate for what is felt to be lacking or void. Take a house, for example. A house is a sufficiency, a collection of materials and structures brought together to address the deficiency of shelter. A car follows the same principle, a collection of components assembled to overcome the limitation of distance. Now consider the mind. The mind, too, is a sufficiency, a collection of causes arising to satisfy the idea of separation, identity, and continuity. Although these sufficiencies may feel complete or wholesome, their nature is not fixed. At the deepest level, what modern physics describes as the quantum field, there are no solid entities, only free-flowing energy and processes. For any phenomenon to appear at all, opposing forces or attractions must arise, creating temporary effects within this field. Not permanent things, but momentary manifestations. The Buddha taught that all conditioned phenomena share three universal characteristics. These characteristics apply to everything we can know: the universe, galaxies, planets, the sun and moon, all objects, living beings, and even the mind itself. These three characteristics are anicca, nothing is fixed; dukkha, resistance to natural flow; anatta, no fixed self. Anicca does not simply mean that things change over time. It means that nothing exists as a fixed entity. Everything arises only when causes and conditions come together in a particular arrangement. If you take anything, the universe, a planet, an object, a thought, or consciousness itself, and look beneath its appearance, you will not find a solid essence. You will find causes. When causes gather, an effect appears. When causes disperse, the effect ceases. Nothing is permanently made. Everything is continuously being made, moment by moment. Dukkha arises when this natural process is resisted. It is the tension created when causes are held together by attraction, craving, and clinging, as if trying to freeze what is meant to flow. These attraction forces act like glue, binding processes together to satisfy desire and necessity. Anatta means there is no fixed entity or permanent essence behind phenomena, no separate self, no independent object, no enduring owner. Only causes and conditions arising together or glued together to create effects. There is experience, but no experiencer apart from the process. The Buddha explained that the root cause of the deficiency experienced as dukkha arises from vexation or craving within the mind. This is the second noble truth. This vexation is powerful and immediate. The moment it arises, a sense of deficiency is created, and with it, suffering. The mind cannot remain at rest while this suffering exists. It continuously seeks a solution. Among all beings, human beings possess a high capacity for intelligence and systematic thinking. Because of this, we are especially skilled at transforming deficiency into sufficiency. What you experience in the world as a human being, possessions, systems, structures, achievements, are largely forms of sufficiency created to relieve vexation in the mind. In the process of transforming deficiency into sufficiency, energy must be expended. This expenditure of energy manifests as attraction and resistance within the quantum field. The forces that temporarily bind free-flowing processes into forceful effects. Take shelter as an example. When the necessity for shelter arises, enormous energy is spent to create a house. The same applies to a car or any other constructed solution. This necessity is not something to celebrate or assume as natural. It arises because vexation disturbs the mind. Until a solution is found, the heart remains restless, weeping, longing, unsettled. The outcomes of these solutions can unfold in two ways. If the result aligns with desire, the experience appears as happiness, joy, excitement, pride, attachment, or pleasure. If the result does not align with desire, the same process manifests as stress, anxiety, anger, sadness, or depression. At larger scales, this same mechanism leads people to fight and nations to wage wars. All of this originates from a single source, a vexation that arises in the mind, seeking fulfillment where none can truly be found. Even though there are many ways to fulfill deficiencies, they are all conditional and subjective. No solution brings lasting rest to the mind. Once one deficiency is resolved, the mind quickly explores, adapts, and evolves, creating new deficiencies and again seeking sufficiency, cycle after cycle. The Buddha's path to liberation does not aim to endlessly satisfy these deficiencies. Instead, it points directly to the eradication of craving and vexation at their root. When craving ceases, no new deficiencies are generated. When no deficiencies arise, there is no effort required to fulfill them. This complete cessation of craving is what the Buddha proclaimed as the third noble truth. And the Buddha declared a single path for the eradication of vexation, the realization of true nature. This is not achieved through force or blind effort, but through clear understanding, by dissolving the illusion of a separate self and separate others. In reality, there are no true separations. The underlying quantum field is free-flowing energy. It is the ignorant mind that seeks division, boundaries, and identity. For an observer or experiencer to exist, it must be constantly maintained. And wherever there is maintenance, there is dukkha. When the mind is aligned with reality, ignorance is replaced by wisdom. The true nature of existence is realized, not conceptually believed. Living from this understanding naturally gives rise to the Noble Eightfold Path. This is the fourth noble truth, the path leading to unconditional happiness, enlightenment. It does not exist as a place to reach, nor as an experience owned by someone. There is no observer left to claim it. The mind is no longer needed. What remains is happiness itself, limitless and free. This path is not easy. Even in deep meditation, the mind clings to subtle identities. There is no separation, but I, the meditator, still exist. This is why the Buddha emphasized the importance of noble association, guidance, correction, and shared understanding. At last, the question reveals its answer. Why can't we see the quantum field as it truly is? Why does the mind endlessly construct the world we experience? Because the mind and body exist for a single purpose, to uphold the illusion of a separate self and a separate world. They function like a shadow, appearing again and again, believing it exists, never knowing it is only the echo of causes. So to those who search for reality beyond particles and measurements, the quantum field will never appear before the naked eye. These eyes were never meant to see truth, only forms. To see what truly is, a different vision is required. Not a better instrument, but the awakening of the wisdom eye. The intention of this video is to share the Buddha's message with the world. A message of clarity, freedom, and liberation from suffering. We will continue exploring this path of wisdom in future episodes. If this resonates with you, please subscribe and join us on this journey. May all beings without exception attain the supreme nibbana.